Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
A leader for 21 years in the Marine Corps, he later founded his own company in his hometown.
And tonight, he shares his life and business experiences as the director of the Kansas Family Business Forum. Jason Lamb as this week's Veteran Salute.
Lance Miner was born on November 11th, Veterans Day, and he says he was destined to be a Marine. He was recruited at home through his TV set when he was 8 or 9 years old.
Early morning Saturday cartoons, I would, between the commercials I would see, they'd have
the few, the proud, the Marines.
I used to think I could do that.
When Lance Miner graduated from Wichita East in 1991, he had a baby daughter.
At 18, I had my own baby to take care of, though I was still a boy myself. When I arrived at the depot, dreaming of the freedom I gave up, the airport was right there, across the physical training field.
Miner's reading from a poem he wrote that's a culmination of his journey that began with a choice.
I decided if I was going to be a Marine, I was going to be a real Marine, and so I signed up as an 0311 contract 03 infantry Marine. So I did my first 4 years as an infantry Marine. Along the way, I realized I was probably smarter than a lot of the guys I was serving with, and my leaders recognized that.
Miner developed operational and tactical plans for his battalion. Then he was promoted to a new MOS, the Marine Air Ground Task Force, or MAGTF.
My first deployment was to Okinawa, Japan. Later on, deployed back to Japan with my family for over 3 years. We were in Japan, we were in Okinawa during 9/11.
Later, he was deployed to a duty station in Miami. He earned his master's degree in English. Then he was hand-selected to be an academic director in Hawaii.
And then I left there and went to 1MEF in Camp Pendleton. And that's where I deployed for 10 months to Afghanistan.
Miner was involved in strategic level planning.
I mean, my team was responsible for something that had never been done in the history of the world. We put together a plan to move 12 main battle tanks into Afghanistan, which is a landlocked country. And the only way we could get them in there was via air. The Air Force C-5 Galaxies weren't available, so we had to jump through them hoops to get authorization to fly those tanks into Afghanistan using Russian aircraft.
Miner retired in 2012, ending a distinguished 21-year military career. He returned home with an idea.
When I was living in Hawaii, I started homebrewing beer and won some homebrew awards. I came back home to Wichita and recognized that the beer scene here back in 2011 was underdeveloped.
He founded Aeroplanes Brewery, which opened in the fall of 2016. The brewery was a big hit, but it closed 4 years later during COVID.
My time in Afghanistan, though harrowing and troublesome and emotionally taxing, closing Aeroplanes Brewing was one of the toughest things I've ever done.
So Miner fell back into higher education at Wichita State. He's the director of the Kansas Family Business Forum.
There's a chance that I get to share my life experiences, the wisdom that I've gained over the years, the business acumen that I've garnered through success and failure.
He is also a very talented writer. Here, he shares the story of losing a fellow Marine in a helicopter accident.
Ever onward, never quit. Kirk's words are written on my mirror, overlaid against my aging face, a reminder of busted shins, broken boys, the ones we lost, my dusty tears, and cost of other failures throughout my years. This is the crucible that formed me. But I am no piece of steel. No, none of us are. But we are tough. That we are.
Miner's essay was published by The War Horse about a year ago. He continues to mentor veterans with PTSD and coaches them in entrepreneurship and personal development. Here for you, Jason Lamb, KSN News 3.
The Devon James Injury Lawyers here with the Veteran of the Week, and that's Gunnery Sergeant Lance Miner, who served our country in the United States Marines. On behalf of all of Kansas, thank you so much for your service.
It's an honor to serve.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.